let's head back to Judge Elmore, new contestant.
This case number 5-14153-FH. Appearances from counsel, please.
Lisa Bell for the people.
And I'm Jeff Harrison. I'm here on behalf of Devin Jean Plum.
All right, thank you. Ms. Plum joins us this morning from Wexford County Jail via Zoom. Ms. Plum, are you able to see and hear the court today?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Thank you. We are here today for a motion filed by the defense regarding a modification of bond. The court has received and reviewed both that motion in writing and a response submitted by the people. Mr. Harrison, the floor is yours.
Well, Your Honor, in a lot of ways, this is a relatively, I suppose there's no such thing as a formulaic or regular type of motion. This is a motion that was contemplated by the parties and discussed a little bit by the court in our last proceeding in court, to the extent that Mrs. Carey also said, go ahead and file your motion, but I'm going to oppose it. So nothing that's happened so far has come as a surprise in any way. The court intimated to Ms. Plum the last time we were here that you would at least be open to the idea of her receiving residential treatment. And frankly, the court also stated that it wasn't a problem if she wanted to go before her scheduled hearing date. In response to that, Devin has been able to, working with Brian from our office, arrange an intake appointment on February 17th at a residential treatment facility. I don't like to say that it's a form motion, Your Honor, but it contains language that the court has requested we include in such motions. As far as the transportation issue and who's going to monitor what and that sort of thing. I'll be happy to take more questions, but I don't have a whole lot more to argue than what's in front of you, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Dahl, on behalf of the people. And again, I've reviewed even this morning your response. So.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just to reiterate that Ms. Plum has a drug problem, and that's clear from her record. In the police report, she stated that she just got out of rehab and was clean at the drug house that she was found. There was a search warrant served on the drug house. There was a drug sale at that drug house and lots of drugs found in the house. So I thought,
okay,
in Harrietta. Your Honor, just based on her statement, it's clear that she's not serious about getting treatment and getting sober. I also got some new information that while she's been in custody, she's made phone calls stating that she's ready to resume work with Ms. Keegan. So I believe that her—
Who's Ms.
Not true. Ms. Keegan, the city.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry.
To resume work, meaning with Ms. Keegan, the city, Ms. Keegan, I'm assuming drugs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it wasn't Miss Keegan, but you said Muskegon. Okay, now I get it.
I apologize.
That's all right.
So I believe her intentions are not genuine. She's had multiple drug charges in the past where she had opportunities to get the treatment that she needs. I think at this point, she's trying to seek treatment in order to not get further jail time. I don't think she's serious about getting sober, as evidenced by her stating that she just got out of rehab and then immediately placed herself in a drug house. It is the people's objection that this be granted.
When was the alleged phone call or communication where she made that statement? When did that occur, before or after the plea?
Your Honor, I am not sure. I got this information just this morning from Ms. Carey, so I don't have the details. If the court would like, we can postpone this hearing to another date and I can get more details from the jail.
All right. So part of my reason for asking that question is, well, and I'm not challenging, it's not up to the judge. Judges don't get to take a plea and then say, yeah, I don't like that plea. I think it should be higher. I think it should be lower. Courts only get to apply their discretion when it comes to a time of sentencing. And if the people are so heavily concerned, they took what was a life offense down to a 2-year maximum. That would be on the government, not on the court. So I'm taking some of that with a grain of, well, lots of salt, because if she was that big of a drug dealer in Harrietta, then I would anticipate that. And by the way, Ms. Plum, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if that's what she was and that was the position of the people, they just took a life offense down to a 2-year, which means they know that more than likely it's going to be an intermediate sanction cell. Means it's going to start with the presumption of no jail. But okay, Mr. Harrison.
I'm kind of taken aback by the prosecutor's stance in this matter. Assuming that the prosecutor is not a professional drug and alcohol counselor, someone who has already pre-screened her and said she's eligible and is a good candidate for the program. Not to mention, we also have a social worker who is a trained person as far as evaluating people with drug and alcohol dependency issues. And he's determined that she's an appropriate candidate for this situation. This would not be the first person in the history of mankind that had to go back to rehab. It happens. Unfortunately, it happens. And it happens because for a lot of the same reasons that Ms. Plum was trying to extricate herself from when this occurred. We all know
whose house was it?
It's Robin and Jeff Plum's house. It's a fairly notorious location.
I'm well aware of that.
Was not living there full time. In fact, she had returned there to retrieve some more of her belongings on that day when TNT paid them a visit. I think the majority of her issue is she gets out of rehab, she gets out of prison, she does have the determination to start a new life, but the only life she knows revolves around the methamphetamine use and trade. That's the cycle we're trying to break, and that's the help we're trying to get for her. As far as her getting less time in jail, I don't think that's even a consideration in this at this juncture. Devin has told me repeatedly that she wants to go to rehab, whether the court sends her or not. This looked to be a good juncture to get that to happen prior to the return, probably of adjourned or postponed sentencing, in which we could say to you, Judge, she completed another rehab while she was awaiting sentencing.
When was the last time she was in rehab?
It was a couple of years ago. I don't recall the exact date. Ms. Plum would know that.
Ms. Plum, when was the last time you attended any outpatient or inpatient treatment?
2023 through 24, when I was on parole, successfully completed. With Steve Saladay, Your Honor.
Okay.
But if you're asking residential, besides before I came here, I haven't been since 2010, 2012, I believe.
Yeah. Another 23.
All right. All right. Well, when is sentencing scheduled for? Do we have a date, man?
Yeah, we do, Your Honor. Let me
23rd of February?
Yes.
All right. Do we have a PSI already? Sometimes we get them done quickly.
We do not.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right. Well.
Your Honor, with all due respect, I just thought I'd let you know, Brian Potter did say he was trying to find out what happened today before he turned in the PSI. I seen him last week, just
Okay.
so you're aware. Sorry.
Thank you. It's okay. It's all right, Ms. Palmer. I appreciate you telling me. I'm not surprised. That would make sense. So, well, I'm tempted here to make further comments about the whole situation. I will note that in my position, having been on both sides of the courtroom floor out there and having been up here now for over 5 years, that house, that location is well known. I know we had a case last year involving her father, and I don't hold that against her, but it does involve the same location, which even Mr. Harrison acknowledged. And I don't hold that against her. She's not responsible for the sins of the father, but the point here is she's been in this lifestyle, in this world for a long time. And I also want to give credit. I also want to give as much help as I can when people are dealing with controlled substances. Now, I'm also very sensitive as a judge. I know that there was an appeal in that case and there was a court ruling. And what often is disappointing is the appellate courts don't always, or the attorneys for those cases don't always explore the full facts of the case. And by the way, Ms. Plump, do you know what I'm talking about, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I stopped the trial, sent the jury out, and we had this conversation. What didn't get found out and put in the appellate record was we had a conversation in chambers where the attorney was warned, don't go down that road. And sure enough, that's what he chose to do. So when I say we all know what's going to happen, it was because we'd all talked about it in chambers. So I don't hold any of that against you either. So that's what I'm trying to be really sensitive to. None of that has any impact on my decision in here. And again, the sins of the mother and the father don't go over to the child. But I'm really concerned about you. Do I think you're in this world? Yes, obviously you are. Think you have a drug problem? Clearly you do. Do I want to see you stop it? Yes, not only for you, but the community. I think that drugs are the largest criminal problem we have in our county. I can tell you that it's not me being biased. I can tell you that's just statistics. So, but at the same time, I have the chance to send you to rehab and to give you the keys to the prison cell. Which means because if I send you to this rehab program, which I'm going to do, and you flee, abscond, fail the program, then you'll only have yourself to blame. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, Your Honor.
The court will grant the motion to modify the defendant's bond. And go back here and take a look at the language again for the court clerk.
Your Honor, may I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am, of course.
I don't know if you're aware, but my mom did pass away in the beginning of December.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry. I did not know that.
I assumed the court was
no,
aware
it's
that
okay.
Yeah.
Robin Plump passed away from an accidental intoxication of fentanyl.
Overdose.
See,
Yeah,
see, Devin,
But I'm gonna
that's,
use that, oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, Devin, that's why I say drugs are not victimless crimes. They spill onto other people, they spill onto children. And I know your mom had struggled. I've seen her here in the courtroom, and when I hear about that, it just makes me feel bad, like somehow we failed or the system.
No, yeah,
So I'm
I
very
just
sorry.
wanted to, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted you to know I think she gave her life so I could live mine, and that's how I'm gonna use that.
Well, I'm hoping so, Devin, and I don't mean to use your first name insulting, but I just use it to say, I understand the problem and concerns and how it impacts people, and hear about people not surviving this issue, and especially if they've been in front of me, it clearly it's heartbreaking. All right, the court's gonna release the defendant on a PR bond beginning on February 17th at 2026. She will be transferred by, and this will have to be arranged through the public defender's office. She'll be transferred through the West Express, which does do a service for the county, and we need to have that arranged ahead of time. Thankfully, West Express has worked with the county, and we use some of the opioid funding and other funds to help do that transportation. She will be transported to the Sunrise Center. She's ordered to participate in that program. If she leaves that program or she is terminated involuntarily, then her bond will be revoked and she'll have to return to jail. She will also sign a release that will allow community corrections from this court to monitor her attendance. Ms. Plum, what that means is community corrections will only have the ability to check that you're there. That's it. All right, is she there? Is she doing what she's supposed to? I want to highlight that for you so you don't think that anyone else outside of you and your counselors will know what you and your counselors talk about. I just need to know that you're doing what I told you to do. That's all. All right. Now, some of these programs, I can't remember if Sunrise Center does. And they say, well, we don't like to do these because of whatever. You can tell Sunrise Center that if they don't allow just community corrections to check that you're there, I'll have you put back in jail. So you want to make sure that they do as I say. Again, no one is going to know anything about your private communications, okay?
Okay, yes, Your Honor.
I can't monitor you, at least your attendance. And why would I put somebody into a program?
Right.
Your sentencing is scheduled to come up the week after. But I will, if the parties tell me, and Mr. Harrison will be the one in charge of drafting a stipulation to say, hey, Judge, yeah, she's still there, then I'll continue in the program and we'll adjourn your sentencing. Clearly, I understand, and you should understand as well, that I'm using your sentencing to hang over your head. I'm not saying I'm going to punish you. It's not like a stick, but it's your way to convince me that I don't put you in prison. Okay?
Okay, yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it always sounds awkward, and it's not to be mean, but it's just to say, I'm hoping that you take this opportunity to do all the right stuff. And clearly, I understand that I have this sentence hanging over your head that will hopefully help encourage you to maximize your full benefit. Okay?
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much for this.
Yep. And that means if they give you the opportunity for a sober living facility, I want you to stay in the sober living facility. Now, last thing. Stay away from, I'm not saying you did it. There's no fighting. Stay away from the people in Muskegon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any further today, Mr. Harrison?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Dahl?
No, Your Honor.
Devin? I really sincerely mean this. Good luck, because I'm very bothered. I didn't know about your mom, and I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry about that too, Your
That's
Honor.
okay.
I assumed that was common knowledge.
Everybody thinks I know everything. I don't. So I intentionally get to stay out. And the best thing about being the judge is I don't read police reports unless I'm asked to. And no one ever asks me to do it. So I don't know what goes on out in that world too much. All right, thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So 2 points of wisdom from Judge Elmore there. Number one, once again, he reiterates that drugs are not a victimless crime. He and I are very much aligned on that view. I've always had that view. And this is yet another example. You had parents that used it, spilled onto the child, that behavior, that lifestyle, and here we go. It becomes generational. Man has a point. I know that a lot of people push back on that, but I don't think he's wrong. You can disagree with me, and that's cool. That's part of what we do here at TCF. We discuss, we debate, we don't always agree. But that's my stance on that one. The other piece of wisdom that he gave was stay away from the people in Muskegon. Having grown up in Muskegon many, many years ago, I don't necessarily disagree with that statement. Anyways. Hey, thanks for watching this clip from TCF Live. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can join us weekdays live, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, right here on this channel.